Really excited. I'm apprehensive. I can't wait for it to be screened in front of an audience. I haven't seen it with an audience yet, so that's going to be pretty exciting. Just to see if the reactions are what I'm expecting.
Well, I mean, it's incredibly exciting, the reputation that it's got at Midnight and at the Egyptian as well. I think it's a crowd that kind of willing it to do the right things for them. It is it's a genre film, but it's about suspense rather than gore. So I think that's an interesting, how an audience is going to respond and see the tension build up and how they feel it. So hopefully it's I think it'll be the right thing.
I mean, what I loved about what you wanted to do with the project, as you just said about the suspense as opposed to gore, is what people do with their minds. Our imaginations are always going to be so much more vivid than any effect, which dates so quickly. And I think it was really exciting for me and for us to be able to work on something that was so based in our minds, that was cerebral, that was not blood everywhere.
In Fear deals with a couple who go to Ireland on a holiday, and suddenly everything starts to go wrong. They get lost, and suddenly it starts to get dark. And it deals with primal fears that we all have. People are afraid of the dark because it's really the unknown, and that's what the story is based on. And the fact that these characters really are struggling and struggling to survive in an environment that is completely alien to them.
Mm.
I think it's important to say that we shot it without the cast knowing the story.
Yes.
Because I think there's two motivations. One was it's to make a genre film that is genuinely thrilling and exciting and scary, and the other is to try and portray a state of fear as a state of being, that it's not just you're scared of something. It's fear is something that is the root and the consequences of all our behaviour, be it aggression, be it greed, be it ambition. So I think what I want to do is to put the cast in a position where they were in a state of fear. So I didn't tell them the story, I didn't give them a script. And
we were in a state of fear.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. It's like the process never ended. There was never cut, okay, we go home.
Yeah.
It was constant. It was just 3 weeks of
yeah,
terror.
Yeah, and I learned to be hated.
You horrible person.
I learned to love to be hated.
And we'd come home after work and be having a drink in the hotel at 3 a.m. in the morning and be sitting with each other and know that we were all manipulating each other.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre.
And fun.
And fantastic.
It was, bizarre, strangely enjoyable. I mean, the intention was to make a film that was like sort of home invasion but set in a car. And there's this bizarre thing when you watch it on a big screen, because of the way we frame the shots, deliberately, it's like, you've got two people in the front and you become the person sitting in the back. And I wanted you as an audience to feel you were with them in the car all the time. And obviously if you put that on a small screen, you're diminishing that effect. So, I'd love it to be everywhere, on every media there can be. But primarily I wanted it to be a theatrical release. Well, I think a genre film, especially a horror film, one that portrays, essentially it's the closest you come to a death experience without experiencing it for yourself. And I think if you feel the thrill of it and then you survive it, you feel closer to living. So I think, it's like, why would we all scare our children, and as a society we've done it, globally. The children's stories are genre horror, and I think what you do is you try and make them see the thrill of the moment, and then the safety of, it's all right.